Julie, I've got 10 friends of mine coming to the house tomorrow afternoon, just so you know, so you had better prepare lunch for everyone.
Wow, 10 people? That's quite a large number of guests, isn't it?
Yes, indeed, I'm very well liked around town, you know. We all decided to catch up for the first time in a while, and our house is the most appropriate size for a gathering of 10 people.
I see. Okay. In that case, I guess I should make something nice and easy for you all to share with each other, right? How about a delicious seafood platter?
Don't be ridiculous. That won't do at all. Honestly, you're just hopeless, aren't you? Always trying to cut corners.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention at all. I just thought it would be nice if you could all share the same thing.
No excuses. I don't want to hear them.
I'm sorry. In that case, what would you like me to prepare for everyone?
Well, don't get me wrong, I'd be just fine with a simple salad or something along those lines. But what would everyone say if you served up something like that? People would think my daughter-in-law can only cook plain slapdash elementary dishes. I can't have that happen. It would damage my reputation, you see. And you wouldn't want people to think that either, I'm sure. Anyway, everyone is getting older, you know, so some of the guests have foods they can't eat anymore.
Oh, I see. Can you give me some examples?
Well, let's see. Patty can only eat soft foods. Elena doesn't eat meat anymore. Oh, and Joanna is lactose intolerant. As for me, I hate eating vegetables, as you know.
I see. That's quite a challenge. Those restrict the dishes I can make quite a bit.
Exactly, so you'll have to make something for each person according to their needs. I'm counting on you, Julie.
I know, but sorry, I'm still not exactly sure what I should make for everyone. Do you have any suggestions?
I knew you'd say that. Always making excuses, cutting corners, and trying to get out of doing basic tasks. Lucky for you, I'm a kind person, so I took the time to ask everyone what they want. I have a list with everything written down about what you're going to make for each person. Take a look at it and make the dishes accordingly.
Wait a minute. Does that mean I'll be making a different dish for everyone attending?
Yes, of course.
10 completely different dishes? That's a lot of work. I'll have to be up all night for the dishes to all be ready by tomorrow afternoon.
I knew you'd start making excuses. There you go again, trying to get out of doing basic chores. Honestly, just how lazy can you possibly be? Just because Wade is away on a business trip doesn't mean you can get away with cutting corners.
I'm not trying to cut corners, really, but you're just asking so much of me. I can't seem to keep up.
I'm not asking for too much. You're just incompetent. When will you learn that? And that reminds me, once you get back from the supermarket, I want you to redo all the cleaning in the house.
All of it? Why? I cleaned the whole house twice since this morning.
It's no good at all. A complete failure. Do it over from the beginning. Good grief, why is it that everything you attempt to do fails so completely? I swear I've never met anyone so useless in all my life. I suppose it's no wonder when you really think about it. You have no parents, so you were really never disciplined properly. That's why I have to teach you everything from scratch.
I'm sorry. I don't want to cause a nuisance.
Be more grateful.
I am grateful, really. I'm doing my best to take care of both you and Wade every day.
And are you done shopping yet? Hurry up and come home with the groceries. What on earth is taking you so long? You still have a million things to do when you get home. Oh, and don't forget to bring me some snacks either. Some white chocolate raspberry truffle ice cream would be good. Oh, and I want a red velvet cake from the bakery.
The bakery is quite far from the supermarket, though. The car is at the garage today for a routine inspection, so I have to go everywhere on foot.
It's not too far for you to walk. You're still young. Deal with it.
But the supermarket is also quite a long-distance walk from the house. And it's the middle of summer. By the time I get home, the ice cream will have melted.
Well, you'll just have to run then.
It's just that I thought I'd keep the shopping light today since I can't use the car. But you asked me to buy a lot of stuff for tomorrow, and now all my shopping bags are completely full. I don't think I'll be able to run home carrying this many bags.
Figure something out. Honestly, I can't rely on you for anything. You're beyond useless. Don't forget, I am your mother-in-law. My word is absolute. If you come home with any items missing from the list, I'll send you right back outside into the heat to go and get it. Have you got that?
Don't worry, I already double-checked that I have everything.
I don't trust you. It seems that no matter what you do, it's never up to my standards.
But I'm doing my absolute best.
Well, your best just isn't enough then. Oh, my poor Wade. He deserves so much better. Why, oh why did he end up with a woman like you? I'll never know. He went to a good university, graduated top of his class, got a job at a world-famous company, and this is the reward for all his efforts. A parentless, feeble layabout like you. I mean, good God, you never even went to university. He shouldn't have picked you.
Wade said he didn't care about any of that stuff. He said he likes me for me.
He should have been more careful when it came to choosing a wife. He's too tolerant. Marriage is not a humanitarian endeavor. Come to think of it, he's been obsessed with volunteering at places and giving to charity since he started attending university. It seems to me that even his marriage has become an extension of that behavior.
I don't think that's the case, Paula.
Of course it is. Are you trying to say I'm wrong about this? Insolent child. I know it's true. That's the only way to explain why he ended up marrying you of all people.
But Wade is always so loving toward me.
So? So what? You're like an abandoned puppy dog he's taking care of. I'm sure he just felt sorry for you. You knew that, and you took advantage of Wade's kindness, didn't you? Admit it already.
Of course I didn't. Wade is the one who approached me and asked me to go out with him, and he proposed first as well. I thought I would finally have a mother figure in my life, and I was so happy thinking I'd finally be part of a real family.
Is that so? Well, I only ever thought of you as a burden to this household, and as far as I'm concerned, it's a great misfortune that Wade ever met you in the first place. But I'm being generous and letting you live here in our house anyway. I put up with you, so in return, you must obey everything that comes out of my mouth. Understood?
Yes, I understand.
Where on earth have you gone off to now? It's been an hour since you left the house. I just told you to do some simple shopping for me. Where have you been for it? Timbuktu? What are you up to, Julie?
Sorry about the delay. I started to feel sick, so I stopped to rest for a little bit. I'll get on the next bus to the supermarket when it arrives.
Wait, you're not even at the supermarket yet?
No, not yet.
Honestly, what is wrong with you? You're just trying to stay away from home because you don't want to deal with me, aren't you? Admit it.
No, of course not. I really do feel sick, that's all.
I don't believe a word of this nonsense. Aren't you ashamed of yourself, making such a ridiculous excuse to your mother-in-law? Stop trying to play the sympathy card. Hurry up and get back here already. Rub my shoulders for the rest of the day.
But I rubbed your shoulders for over an hour last night.
You have weak hands, so it made no difference at all. It was just unpleasant. If anything, it made me tense up even more.
But you were fast asleep toward the end.
I was just pretending to sleep in order to get you to go away without hurting your feelings.
But you were even snoring and everything.
I do not snore! How dare you accuse your mother-in-law of snoring? How dare you? What are you saying, Julie?
Well, perhaps I imagined it or something.
Yes, you must have been drifting off yourself.
Maybe I was. I have to massage your shoulders before you sleep every night, and then I get up at 5 a.m. to clean the house and make everyone's breakfast. So recently I haven't been getting that much sleep.
That's only natural. Keeping the house clean is a housewife's job, and yet you continue to cut corners wherever possible.
I'm doing my best to keep the place clean.
Well, of course you are. Why are you talking like that's a big deal? You're not praiseworthy. Like I said, keeping the house clean is a housewife's job. More importantly, hurry up and finish your errands. When you get back, you need to help me prepare for my holiday and pack my suitcase. I'm leaving tomorrow, you know.
I don't know if I'll be up to that today. I feel really dizzy. I would like to rest a little bit more when I get home.
Excuse me? Are you trying to defy me?
No, it's not like that. Recently, I've been feeling really tired and getting migraines all the time.
You're perfectly fine. Do you think you'll be able to get out of doing housework by making up stories like that? Oh, you're always making up stories to avoid doing your chores, but I won't be deceived by such an obvious lie.
I'm not lying, though.
Just get back here already.
Okay, I'm on my way. I'll be back as soon as possible.
Oh, and by the way, just because I won't be home for a few days doesn't mean you can skimp on the housework.
I know that.
And I know you've been secretly eating food from the kitchen at night.
What? I'm not sure I follow.
You thought I hadn't noticed anything? I hear you sneaking around in the kitchen whenever you think I'm asleep.
Wait, you heard that?
Of course I did.
Well, the thing is, let me explain.
Go on.
No, sorry. It's nothing. Never mind.
That's what I thought. Stealing food in the middle of the night, you heartless woman. I won't let you stay in this house if you're going to continue to be so useless.
What do you mean?
To be completely frank with you, I'm sick of having you around. If only you would just disappear and leave Wade and I alone, things would be so much better around here.
What do you mean by that? Do you really feel that way? But I'm doing my best. All I want is for the two of you to be happy.
Let me say it straight. I want you and Wade to split up. In other words, divorce.
Are you serious?
Of course I am. If the two of you were to divorce, then Wade could get a new, better, more suitable wife.
Is that really what you want? This can't be.
In fact, I think Wade desires this too. He's as sick of having you around as I am. He doesn't want to put up with a burdensome wife who can't do anything right anymore, and I don't blame him. Let him go free and find someone better. You've tormented him for long enough.
But what makes you say that? I don't understand.
Well, he's always on those long business trips, isn't he? But how can you really be sure they're business trips? He's probably just trying to get away from you. He might even have another woman somewhere, someone better than you. But Wade is a good boy, so he's too kind to tell you to leave directly. Yes, that must be what's happening.
I never realized you hated me so much. What did I do wrong? I only ever wanted you to love me. I did my best to try and be a good daughter-in-law. Why have things turned out this way?
You're only just now realizing how hated you are around here? Just how oblivious can you possibly be? Did you really think I could ever love an incompetent failure like you when all you ever do is cause trouble for me? Of course not. Stop dreaming.
I thought if I kept trying one day we would be able to get along, like mother and daughter.
Well, you were wrong. The day when we get along with each other will never come. All of your efforts have been for nothing. Just give up.
I can't believe it. So, it's no good then. But I've done my best. I really thought it could work.
Didn't you realize? Ever since I've met you, I've been praying to God for the day when you and Wade would break up to come. If that happened, he would be able to find a new woman, a better woman. Someone beautiful and well-educated and rich, not to mention disciplined. Someone from a real family, not a dirty orphanage.
So that's what you really think of me? I understand now. I never had any hope of winning you over from the start, did I?
Certainly not. Good grief, do I really need to say this much just to get you to understand my feelings? You're even more an incompetent fool than I realized.
I don't know what to say. I feel so defeated. This really hurts.
What's that? Trying to win me over by playing the sympathy card again? Just give up already. You're so manipulative. I won't fall for it. Is this behavior how you won over Wade? You think if you cry and whimper, I'll feel sorry for you and start treating you nicely?
I'm not trying to manipulate you. I just feel like somehow all the energy in me has just drained out and there's nothing left. Empty. I feel empty. It's like no matter what I do, it's never good enough, is it? I don't know why I keep trying.
So you finally understand that you're the real problem around here. At least now you know how I really feel. You're nothing but a housekeeper to me. You hear? You'll never be a real part of this family, no matter how hard you try. Now give up already.
A housekeeper? That's all?
That's all. More importantly, you're still not back yet. Hurry up and finish shopping and come home. If you're not back in an hour, I'll have you thrown out of the house for real this time. I don't need a housekeeper who can't do anything right.
Okay, I'm on my way.
Julie, where are you? What are you up to now? Answer your phone already. What's the delay? I see you must be out messing around somewhere. That's it, isn't it? You're out wasting time in town instead of taking care of the house like you're supposed to. You think you can get away with skimping on the chores? I won't let you drive this household into the dirt. Julie, are you there? Answer me. When are you coming back? I'm starving, you know. Make me some lunch.
Make it yourself.
There you are. It's about time. Where on earth have you been? What took you so long? And what did you just say to me? Make it myself? How dare you talk to your mother-in-law like that? I've told you time and time again not to defy me, haven't I? Have you lost your mind? Remember who you're talking to, Julie.
Oh, I know exactly who I'm talking to, and I don't give a damn. I can say whatever I want.
Excuse me? What are you playing at? Where is this attitude coming from all of a sudden? Are you drunk? You can't say things like that. I'm your mother-in-law. You won't get away with talking like that to me. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I warn you what would happen?
Oh, yeah? Why don't you remind me? What are you going to do about it, you old hag?
I told you. I'll have you thrown out of the house. I have that power. Don't test me.
Ooh, how scary. You'll have me thrown out? You really think you have the power to do that to me? Yeah, right. Don't delude yourself.
What? How could you say that to me? I am Wade's mother, you know. I can do whatever I want to you, and you don't get to complain. I've said it once. I've said it 1,000 times. I have all of the power in this house, and you have to obey every word that comes out of my mouth. Understood? Good grief. Just when I thought you were finally starting to get it, I suppose I overestimated you after all. Do I have to tell you again not to defy me, not to talk back to me? You really are an incompetent little fool, aren't you? How many times do I have to tell you the same thing over and over again before you understand how unwanted you are around here? You incompetent moron!
You're calling me a moron?
That's right. I said it. That's what you are, and everybody knows it. If you have time to backchat me, then you have time to come home and make my lunch. And what's with this state you've left the house in? It's covered in dust. You clearly haven't been maintaining the place at all while I've been away. I see you can't even do basic housework when I'm not around to whip you into shape.
You push people around and work them like a cart horse day after day, and in the end, that's all you have to say? You're a despicable human being. Go to hell.
What? What did you just say? Since when do you speak so pompously to me? I see you've developed quite the attitude problem while I've been away. I was only gone for a few days and you've turned into a complete brat. That's it. I've had it up to here with you. I demand that you divorce Wade and get out of this house once and for all. Don't even think about coming back.
What right do you have to say that to me? You think you can boss me around like that? Well, you got another thing coming. And besides, I couldn't get a divorce now even if I wanted to. Not that I do want one. Why should I get a divorce just because you say so? Who are you to tell me what to do with my life?
I don't believe what I'm hearing. You've lost your mind talking to your own mother-in-law like this. I always knew you were a dirty, undisciplined ruffian. The truth comes out at last. You're nothing but a crazy degenerate.
I'm not crazy. My head feels like it's about to explode with anger, but apart from that, I'm completely sane. If anything, I'm thinking more clearly about things than I have in years. I finally realized what you've been doing to Julie all this time. If only I'd known it sooner, I could have done something about it. I could have protected her from you.
Wait, come again? Are you not Julie? What's going on? Who are you? Why do you have Julie's phone? Are you her secret lover or something like that? I knew it. That girl is no good for Wade after all. He has to get a divorce now. He has to.
Julie's dead, you idiot.
Huh? What do you mean she's dead?
I mean exactly that. Julie's dead, Mom. And it's all your fault.
Wait. Wade? Is that you?
That's right. You finally figured it out, huh?
What do you think you're doing, love? Why are you using Julie's phone? And what do you mean she's dead? You're talking nonsense, dear. I know this is part of some scheme of hers to get revenge on me.
You're still saying this crap even now? Of course it isn't part of some scheme. Today was her funeral. I didn't tell you about it because I didn't want you to attend. I decided you, of all people, didn't deserve to be there today.
Stop joking around. Tell me what's really going on here.
You think I would joke around about something like this? You have no idea how much I wish it was a joke.
You're serious then? She died?
That's right. She's really gone.
But how? Why so suddenly? Did she get into an accident or something? That would make sense. She's always spacing out after all, never noticing a thing about her surroundings. She must have wandered out into the middle of the road in a daze or something.
Shut up. You're still insulting her even now? Don't you understand the severity of what's going on here? And I told you already, it's all your fault.
My fault? What do you mean by that? I didn't do anything. I've been away on holiday all week. I couldn't have done anything to her even if I tried. Don't blame me.
The doctors told me she collapsed from exhaustion. I hurried back from my business trip, but by the time that I got to the hospital, she was barely breathing.
Well, that hardly has anything to do with me now, does it? But anyway, aren't you glad?
What? How could I be glad? Are you insane?
I mean, now that she's finally gone, you can get a new wife, a better one.
You're joking, right? You can't be seriously saying that at a time like this.
Of course I'm serious. That Julie was never a good fit for you in the first place. Now you can find an educated, beautiful woman who will cook and clean and take care of the house the way a wife should. Aren't you happy?
I don't believe this. You're even more rotten than I thought you were. I had no idea you were such a monster.
Wade, watch your tongue. You can't say that kind of thing to your own mother. I didn't raise you to be so disrespectful.
Like I give a damn. After the funeral, I unlocked Julie's phone and I read all the messages you two exchanged. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
I don't understand. What's the problem?
You worked her to the bone every day from first thing in the morning until after midnight. She barely even had time to sleep, you know? How could you treat her like that? She was your daughter-in-law, not a robot. You think anyone can survive long living like that? You worked her to death, you know? I feel sick to my stomach to even call you my mother.
Wait a minute. You must be misunderstanding something here. This is all a big mistake. I haven't done anything wrong.
Huh? You don't seriously believe that, do you? Then how would you explain all of those messages you exchanged?
I was just joking. It was all just a little inside joke I had with her. We often said these things to each other, but none of it was ever to be taken seriously.
You really expect me to believe that, Mom? I wasn't born yesterday. Julie's no longer with us, you know? Don't you realize that? And she was so happy and energetic when I went on my business trip. How did this happen? You must have worked her to the bone.
I never did anything wrong. I was just teaching her the appropriate way to behave as a wife. It never went beyond anything more than that. You have to believe me.
Don't lie. I've had enough of your lies, Mom. I've been such a fool. She always told me she was okay when I asked, and I believed her like an idiot. But I see now that she was just trying to be strong for me. She didn't want me to worry about her. I never thought things would come to this. I should have listened to my instincts, been more observant, but I failed her. I can't forgive myself for letting her down.
It wasn't like that. I never did anything wrong. It's not my fault that she was too weak to handle basic chores.
Are you still spouting that garbage even now, when she's lying in the ground?
Well, it's the truth.
When I was at the hospital, what do you think Julie said to me in her final moments?
Oh, I don't know. She probably complained about me, didn't she? Always whining, that girl.
You're irredeemable. Gripping my hand, she told me, I'm sorry. She said, I'm sorry I couldn't get along with your mother. I'm sorry I couldn't be the daughter-in-law she wanted.
She what? She said that?
That's not all. Before I left for my business trip, I asked her if she wanted to come with me and see the sights. You know what she said then? She refused because she didn't want to leave you in the house by yourself. She was worried that you'd be lonely, that you'd have trouble doing all the housework yourself.
Really? I had no idea. Did she really worry that much about me?
She thought it would be a good chance to try and win you over when it's just the two of you at home together. She really thought of you like her real mother.
Did she really? No, that can't be right.
She's an orphan, you know? Both her parents died when she was still a baby. So she thought that after she married me, she would finally have a mother figure in her life. She did everything she could to be a good daughter.
I never realized that she thought that way.
Since it's your birthday, she wanted to celebrate with you by cooking you your favorite foods. She thought it would make you happy. So she's been practicing making it for weeks now. She even prepared a full menu in advance.
Wait a minute. So, all those sounds coming from the kitchen at night? That was what she was doing? And I thought she was stealing food this entire time.
She wanted to prepare a lot of food in secret in order to surprise you. She even talked happily about planning you a surprise party. She asked me about what kind of decorations to put up, who to invite, what kind of music to play, everything.
No, that can't be right.
And yet, despite all of that, you treated her like dirt until the very end.
But I didn't know. I couldn't have known. I never heard about any of this. I didn't realize she thought of me in such a way. It's not my fault, really.
My wife is dead because of your selfishness. I will never, ever forgive you for this.
I'm sorry, Wade. Please don't say something like that to me. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. You have to understand.
It's too late for all of that. Even if you apologize to me 1,000 times, it won't bring Julie back to life.
I was wrong. I should never have said and done all those things. You have to forgive me. If I could take it back, I would.
You think you can smooth this over just by apologizing? You think I'd really forgive you and move on? And then we just continue going on with our lives like nothing ever happened? Open your eyes, Mom. It's your fault that my wife is dead. Don't you understand that? You didn't even notice she was sick, even though you see her every single day. She even told you she wasn't feeling well. Why didn't you do something? Why didn't you at least send her to a doctor?
I thought she was just making up excuses to get out of doing housework. She was always doing that kind of thing, being lazy, trying to cut corners. How was I supposed to know that she was actually sick?
Of course she wasn't making up excuses. Are you nuts? She was trying to tell you she was sick, but you didn't listen to her. You stepped all over her feelings and drove her to this outcome. And now it's too late for you to try and take any of it back. I just can't think of you as my mother anymore.
What do you mean?
I'm cutting ties with you forever. I don't need a mother like you in my life. I'm done. It's over.
No, you don't mean that. But I'm your mother. You have no idea how much I went through to raise you. Does this mean you're not going to come home?
My boss has been talking about dispatching me to work overseas for a while now. I kept turning him down because I thought it would be too much of an adjustment to move overseas with Julie. She always loved this town, and we wanted to raise a family right here, near our future kid's grandmother. Not to mention, going to live overseas would mean leaving you in the States by yourself. And we were worried about you, what with your age and everything. But now, I've got no reason to stay here anymore. I called my boss this morning and told him I've accepted the position. I'm leaving next week, and I don't know when I'll be coming back, if ever.
You're just going to throw me away? Your own mother? In her old age? How could you do something like that? I never raised you to be so cruel.
I told you already. I don't think of you as my mother anymore. Julie was the only family I ever needed.
Don't say that. What about me? I raised you, didn't I? Does the last 30 years of my life mean nothing to you? You would never have even been born if not for me. Besides, Julie's not even alive anymore. It's just the two of us now. We're family. Don't throw your only living family member away for the sake of some dead girl.
Shut up, how dare you? You have no right to talk about Julie like that. And I told you already, you're no longer my mother. It's already too late to change my mind. We're not family anymore. My only regret is that I should have gotten rid of you a long time ago, before things came to this. If I had, then Julie would still be alive today, laughing by my side like always.
Well then, let's live together while cherishing her memory. We can hold a second memorial service for her. We can even visit her grave together. Doesn't that sound nice?
Just give it up already. I don't want to hear it anymore. When will you get it, Mom? It's too late for any of that now. Julie is gone. Even if you mourn for her now, it won't bring her back to life. I hope she haunts you for the rest of your days, damn it. Live whatever is left of your pathetic life apologizing to her.
What? You think she might haunt me?
Yeah, maybe. I sure would if I were her. She must have had a lot of unfinished business left in this world, now thanks to you. Before she goes to heaven, she might want to take revenge on you or something. Or maybe she'll just appear at night, still wishing she could get along with you one day. She was never able to fulfill that final wish after all.
You're not serious, are you? You're just trying to scare me now. Don't say such terrible things to your dear old mother. My poor heart can't take it.
Well, anyway, I have to go now. I'll probably never speak to you again after this conversation.
Don't go yet, Wade. There's still so much we need to talk about. And what about the house? Who is going to take care of the house now? Who is going to do the cooking and sweep the floors if Julie isn't around and you're overseas? I won't be able to do it by myself. I'm just a frail old woman now. You'll pay for someone to come and clean the place for me, right?
Don't be a fool. I'm cutting ties with you, for real. Why should I pay for a cleaner to come and help you out? Forget it. I don't see you as my mother. You're dead to me. I couldn't care less who takes care of you now, where you go, or what you do. Oh, and by the way, the contract on the house is ending at the end of the month, so you'll have to find somewhere else to live ASAP.
What? You're kidding me. You can't do that. That only gives me a few weeks, you know. Where am I going to go at such short notice?
Like I give a damn. Go to wherever will take in a bitter old woman like you. I couldn't care less. Go die in a gutter for all I care. Goodbye forever.
Wait. Please, I don't have any money. I'm an old woman. I haven't had a job in 30 years. What am I going to do if you leave? At least lend me some money to get by with. Don't go. You have to help me. Help your poor old mother. Wade, you can't abandon me.
After that, I heard Paula was kicked out of the house we used to live in by the new owners and had to flee to another state to go and stay at a distant relative's house. But once she told them about the situation with Julie and I, they turned her away and told her to never come back. Then she started working somewhere as a live-in housekeeper, cooking, cleaning, doing laundry, and babysitting. In fact, she's forced to work like a dog from first thing in the morning till late at night. She barely had time to sleep and she quickly lost a lot of weight. She started telling people that every night the ghost of Julie would stand by her bedside and glare at her. Terrified, she ended up fleeing back to her relative's house for comfort, but was turned away again without hesitation. I no longer want anything to do with that woman, regardless of where she is or what she's doing. I still have trouble believing what happened to Julie. It haunts me every day to know that she's no longer in this world. I know I'll regret being unable to protect her from my mother for the rest of my life. But even so, every time I close my eyes, I still see Julie's smiling face, and I'll continue to live with that smile in my heart until the day I die. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.
Hey, home-wrecking bride! Wanna know a secret? Absolutely no one is coming to your wedding today! You can wait, but you're just wasting your time! Excuse me, who are you? You can't read? Just look up my number if you really don't know. Just refer to me as Lady Revenge from here on out. No, that's not what I mean. What is your real name? Who are you? I shouldn't have to tell you. You should know. You should know more than anyone else. I seriously have no idea. You're kind of dense, aren't you? You've got to have some idea, considering I just ruined your wedding. Maybe you should actually try using your brain. Okay, then let me ask you something else. How did you know my wedding was today? How do you know that no one is coming? Of course I know about your wedding! I've been planning to ruin your silly wedding. You have no idea how long I've been waiting for this day! What? And as for why I know that no one is going to show up, I'll just go ahead and tell you. I literally sabotaged everything. I just let everyone know about your dirty little secret. How you're just a home-wrecking bride, and they should stop wasting their time. Why do you keep calling me a home-wrecker? I really don't have the slightest clue what you're talking about. I didn't wreck any homes as far as I know. Are you sure you're not mistaking me for someone else? Don't act like you don't know. You're guilty and you know it. Huh? A woman like you doesn't deserve to have a happy wedding. Trying to have a marriage ceremony after destroying someone's happiness. It will never work. Can you please just calm down? I really don't know what you're talking about. You really seem like the kind of woman who would steal someone's man. You don't even remember stealing my fiance? I can't remember something that never happened. Okay, here's an idea. Think about it until it comes to you. This miserable wedding that no one is attending is punishment. The perfect wedding for some terrible woman who would steal a man from someone. Hey, Steven. Someone called Lady Revenge just messaged me. Who? It's probably just someone pranking you. Apparently, she has been contacting a bunch of our friends. She was bragging about disrupting our wedding. She said she talked to our friends and said don't show up. Seriously? Yeah. She was saying something about punishment. About how I'm just a homewrecker and I'm being punished? Any idea what she's talking about? She said that. I have no clue what she's talking about. Do you have any idea? To be honest, I can kind of think of someone. She really seems to fit the bill perfectly. Someone who seems to fit the bill? So this isn't completely strange to you then? It has to be one of your exes then, right? Or was there a woman I didn't know about while we were dating? Wait, no. That's not at all what I mean. When I mean someone who fits the bill, I don't mean like that at all. Seriously, don't get it all twisted, okay? Then can you explain it for me? Because nothing is making sense right now. I don't know what she's talking about. To top it all off, she's claiming that she completely ruined our wedding. I'm pretty infuriated, to say the least. I would never date two women at the same time. You know that. I broke up with my ex over 5 years ago, too. My ex is married and already has children. Then tell me who the heck this woman is! Tell me exactly why I have to deal with some random lady that I don't know about at all, and why she hates me this much. How did she even get my number? I promise I can explain, so please calm down, okay? Can I go over to your room right now? I actually want you to meet someone that will help explain everything to you. Someone who will help explain things? Yeah. He wants to meet you and explain things to you in person. I totally understand that you're furious, but I really need you to calm down. Please, just relax and listen to what he has to say. He? So this person is a man? Sure, I'll meet him. I have to have my hair done up first, though. I'll let you know when all of my hair is done, okay? Yo! I think you're probably regretting everything you've ever done now, right? Or maybe you're bawling your eyes out because no one is showing up to your wedding. Yeah, sorry to disappoint you, but I haven't shed a single tear. Really? You have got some nerve, don't you? Actually, I was hoping I could ask you something. Have you calmed down yet? You've ruined my wedding completely. I hope you've had some time to repent. What are you talking about? I've been nothing but calm. Besides, your wedding being ruined was your fault. I have no reason to be sorry at all. Actually, I think you've only done things that you should feel sorry for. Do you understand the amount of effort that went into this wedding? You've managed to ruin it completely. Honestly, I wouldn't be upset if you were paying for it for the rest of your life. You're the one that needs to be paying for it for the rest of your life. If you didn't steal someone's man, this never would have happened to you. I have never done such a thing. I need you to stop blaming me for that. Blaming you? It's just fact. You stole Steven from me. He was dating me with marriage in our sights. How could you steal that from me? Yeah, about that. I think you're making a huge misunderstanding. Please let me talk to you in a calm and civilized manner. What? You think I've made a mistake? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. I have never stolen anyone from you. Steven has never even dated you before. Ah, so you're saying he wasn't taking it seriously? Are you going to tell me he was just fooling around with me and that you were the only person he was serious about? Don't come at me with that crap, you home-wrecking trash! No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm simply saying that you're talking about a different person. Please calm down and listen to me. My Steven and the Steven that you dated are different people. You're chasing the wrong Steven. You've made a huge mistake. The amount of lies that you keep spitting out. How can you keep lying like that? I'm literally telling you the truth. After stealing my Steven, you're telling me that I'm talking about the wrong Steven? I think I know the man I love. You're saying I should just give up because it's the wrong person? Sweetie, you better come at me with a better story than that. You must think I'm an idiot if you want me to believe that. I'm not lying to you at all. You'll see that soon enough. I really wish you'd just calm down for a second. I'm trying my best to stay calm, even after my wedding was completely ruined. I'm really hoping you can return the courtesy. I've got nothing to discuss with someone who has no problem stealing someone's man. It's too late for you to apologize. Oh my gosh, just listen to me for 1 second. We're not going to get anywhere like this. It's only in your benefit if you listen to me. I already told you, I'm not interested in hearing your stories. The only reason no one showed up to your stupid wedding is because you are a home-wrecking, man-stealing woman. I won't forgive you, no matter how much you apologize now. No one is showing up to your wedding because you stole my man. Okay, who are you anyway? I already told you. I'm frickin' done with you. Here I am, just trying to stay calm even after my wedding was completely ruined. And you aren't even trying to listen to a single thing I have to say. Seriously, how dense can you be? Do you have a working neuron inside that head? Excuse me? I'm sure you're feeling great, making me out to be the queen of all terrible human beings. But I am telling you right now, the groom, Steven, has no clue who you are. He's never met you before. That's not true. We loved each other dearly. He's only saying that to you because he's afraid to tell you the truth.
No, I really have no idea who you are. Can you just cut it out already?
I? As in Steven, I?
Yes, this is Steven. The same Steven that is going to marry Lisa today. I am here to tell you, I have never met you before.
You too? You know that's a lie.
So how about it, Karen? Do you think it's okay if you just leave us be to have our wedding?
Wait. Hold on. You just called me Karen. You totally do know who I am. Come on, Steven. I'll forgive you if you just apologize. Ditch that stupid wedding with that stupid woman. I'll let everything go if you just come back to me.
I'm not the Steven that you're talking about. You're talking about my coworker, right? Can you please stop mistaking us?
What? Coworker? What? Are you telling me I'm wrong?
As Lisa has tried telling you over and over, the Steven you dated is not me. We work at the same place and have the same name.
Wait, what? No way. Same name?
Yeah, I know. What a coincidence, right? To add to that, we both started working here at the same time. We even have the same last name, if you can believe it. Although it's not so crazy for two people to have the last name Combs.
What?
We do work in different departments, though. They usually refer to us as Steven from accounting or Steven from sales. Sorry to tell you, Karen, but you were dating Steven from sales. The one and only Steven from sales. I'm just Steven from accounting, with the same first and last name.
You're lying. Tell me you're lying? How can that possibly happen?
I don't know when or how you made the mistake between us, but Lisa and I are complete victims to your misunderstanding. She's never stolen anyone from you, let alone even interacted with you. And you've managed to ruin our wedding today.
Oh, I can explain.
How do you plan to take responsibility? Do you understand the amount of blood, sweat, and tears that went into the making of this? Lisa has been working tirelessly to make sure everything was perfect. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to just sit and do nothing while you tear everything down.
But wait! How could anyone know that you have the same first and last names? That's a crazy coincidence. While I was cleaning Steven's room, I found a wedding invitation in his name. I can't really be blamed for making that mistake. I didn't intentionally make the mistake either.
Look, I don't care if you intended to hurt us, or you actually just made a mistake. You ruined our wedding, and that's a fact. I will hold you accountable for that.
But...
I'm definitely going to expect some kind of monetary compensation. My lawyer will definitely be in touch with you, just so you know.
But wait! That's not fair! I was seriously scared and hurt because I thought that someone had stolen him from me. I'm technically also a victim here. I don't think I should be held responsible at all.
Are you serious? You know I now have you saying that in writing, right?
I mean, I am sorry about the whole thing. Maybe I should be held a little accountable. But I think you're going too far if you start bringing lawyers into things. All right, well, I'll be leaving now. Congrats on your marriage. I'm sure your wedding will be wonderful, even without any attendees. I'm sorry about the other day. I really screwed everything up over a simple misunderstanding.
Why are you suddenly apologizing? You were so adamant about being innocent last week.
That's not true. I even apologized. I do feel bad for ruining your wedding over a misunderstanding, but I just told you I don't think I should be held responsible.
Yeah, that's some apology, isn't it? So, what do you want? I'm actually feeling worse by talking to you right now. I can remember the anger from last week.
Well, I actually have to ask you for a favor.
A favor? Absolutely not.
So, about last week, your groom, Steven, was talking about suing me and about how he was going to speak to a lawyer. I haven't received any news at the moment. Has he had a change of heart?
Oh, that? He told me that he was speaking to his lawyer. He said they have a lot to discuss. Something about how much he should see you for? He was thinking at least around 10K.
10K?
There's your answer. Bye! I'm really busy at the moment.
Please, wait! Can you please talk to your Steven? Maybe ask him to rethink his decision to sue me?
Seriously?
I really do feel terrible about ruining your wedding. But it was a complete misunderstanding, I swear! I didn't mean to hurt you. Please, I'm begging you. Forgive me. I went a little crazy because I thought he was cheating. You should understand if you're a woman.
I would just ask him. The audacity and short-sightedness of someone like that. Without even trying to check in on your own partner first.
I can tell you, as another woman, I don't understand at all.
I was just so shocked that I couldn't think of anything but to get back at him. With all of the fury and anger of being betrayed, I had to get my revenge.
As a result, you managed to bring us into your mess. It would seem that it's fair you take responsibility for everything you've done.
Of course I feel responsible. If you two are planning to have another wedding, I will show up. I will give you both an extra generous gift, too. So please, just forgive me.
I don't believe it.
I'm sorry for ruining your wedding. Please just let me know if you're going to have another wedding. I promise I will bring you a generous gift.
There's so much wrong with your logic. What about if we don't have another wedding? How are you going to take responsibility then?
In that case, I can't really do anything to take responsibility. I'll be sure to always remember the terrible mistake I've made and repent on it.
What?
I'm just telling you, I had no hard feelings and I just made a mistake. Let's just say that if you ever hold another wedding, I'll show up and give you your gift. That should be enough to forgive me, right? All right, that's all I gotta say.
Hang on. I'm actually having a wedding right now. Can you come here right now?
What?
Like you said, I'll be expecting a generous gift. I don't really want to make it obvious, but I'm expecting a very generous gift.
Hold on. You're already redoing the wedding?
Actually, yes. I'm surrounded by my friends and family at the moment.
No way.
We explained what happened to the venue, and they were very understanding. They said it would be okay to move the wedding to another day. Some of the guests were also a little scared because they received strange emails. They actually preferred another day anyway. So, we were able to hold our wedding today.
What?
Yeah. Your boyfriend, Stephen from sales, is actually here too. He said something about how he broke up with you. I guess technically that would make him your ex.
We didn't break up. What are you talking about? He chewed me out after he found out about everything. He might have told me that he never wants to see me or talk to me again, but that doesn't mean that we broke up.
I'm pretty sure that's what that means. Anyway, we'll have a separate room for you to stay in. We'll be waiting for that generous gift of yours. Karen brought a measly $500. Stephen from sales was actually more angry and disappointed than we were. He was so mad that he immediately left with her and verbally shredded her apart in the parking lot. I didn't see it happen, but apparently he was so mad it looked like his head was going to explode. He said if she didn't pay us for what she did, he'd report her to the police himself. When they both came back in, she looked completely lifeless. She agreed to finally take responsibility for what she did. In the end, we did agree on receiving a sum of money in the neighborhood of around $10K from her. Of course, she couldn't pay it all at once, so she wires us money every month. By the way, my Stephen changed his last name to mine after we got married, and people stopped getting confused. He still works with Stephen from sales.
Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe and hit that like button for more of these videos.
Hey, Karen. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Connor?
Hey! What's up? I guess it has been a while. We haven't seen each other since college now that I think about it. Yeah, I guess so. What's it been, 8 years or something? Anyways, what's new? Anything exciting happen? Oh, I'm just scrolling through Netflix. What about you? No, that's not what I'm asking. I was wondering what kind of work you've been doing. Just checking in to see how your life is after graduation. Oh, right. Silly me. It's nothing exciting at all. I'm just working for a regular old company up in the city, just like everyone else. Oh yeah? What sort of company? Don't tell me you're still a company newbie that just gets paid minimum wage. Oh, no, I mean... Well, I guess we all start somewhere. But come on, you can't blame anyone but yourself. I mean, during college, you didn't even try and find a part-time job or anything like that. Of course you'd have to start out with the low-paying jobs with no work experience at all. Being lazy comes back to bite you after all. It won't get you any super impressive job just like that. Well, I mean, my job isn't bad or anything.
If anything, I think I'm pretty satisfied with where I am. Even though my position might not have the best job security, I'm enjoying it for what it is. And it's all good work experience anyways.
Well, unlike you, I'm doing pretty great. See, I'm confirmed to start working in S Industries, which is one of the branches of that giant corporate conglomerate, the S Group. I'm sure everyone has heard of them. And of course, the pay is amazing, too.
You got into working under the S Group?
Fitting for an intelligent, successful man like myself, don't you think? Look at me. Someone who's this important and amazing is reaching out to an old friend. Aren't I considerate?
I guess so. How did you even get into this job in the first place?
Well, I suddenly got contacted by a representative of the company who just so happened to be looking for new employees.
Oh, wow. I suppose they were just going around recruiting people. And you got chosen?
You bet I did. I'm sorry that I keep moving further and further away from you, who's making little to nothing down at your work. But I'll promise to succeed for the both of us.
Huh. I still can't believe the S Group were just going around recruiting people.
I guess it just goes to show just how important I am and how much they need talent like me in their company. I'm sorry, I just keep climbing the ranks while you don't. I guess we aren't all made equally.
So, let me just ask. Is that all you wanted to tell me? Or was there some other reason you texted me out of the blue?
Oh, sorry. Just wanted to share the good news with someone. Then again, I've told everyone from our little friend group from back in the day.
Oh, you got in contact with everyone else then?
Sure did. But it seems like I ended up being the most successful out of all of us in the end. Who would have guessed? I know our little reunion is coming up soon enough, so I thought I'd update everyone about the man I have become before meeting them in person. I don't want to give them a heart attack after all. Who knows what would happen if some of them suddenly heard that I made 10 times more than they did.
Right. Gotcha. You said this company you got recruited by was the S Group, which is great and all. But do you know who the top dogs are of this branch company?
What are you on about? And why should I care? I mean, if they need me to learn about certain higher-ups in the company, then I'm sure they'll let me know during the orientation.
Right.
I'll be a new man starting next month.
Well, congratulations for getting in, I suppose. I'll be rooting for you.
Hey, Karen, what's going on? I mean, why are you in the S Group of all places? I saw you at work the other day. You should have told me sooner if you were working under the same company as me. I mean, I saw you working with my boss, for God's sake. What's up with that? Oh, were you getting help learning about where everything in the company was or something? Wait, I think I heard from the higher-ups that some worker was going to be joining the company or something. But that must have been you. Oh, I know what you're doing, you sneaky devil. You got so jealous of my life working in this company that you wanted to get a bit of the action for yourself and begged the boss to hire you. Is that right? All right, well, I've got a good idea. Why don't I become your mentor while you're here, huh? Wasn't your desk next to mine too? Talk about a crazy coincidence. This'll work just fine. And listen to this. I heard that the CEO of our father company is coming over to observe the workplace today. So I'll be doing my best to show off everything I can do, and he'll have no choice but to increase my pay rate. I might even get a new position in the company if I'm lucky enough. Yep, I'm sure he'll be impressed. All right, now that that's settled, come over to my desk ASAP. And I'll be your trustworthy mentor if you just say a few quick sentences. Please, Connor, teach this worthless bottom-of-the-barrel human the way to do a real job. That's all you have to do. Ha ha! What did I tell you, Karen? I told you to come to my desk ASAP. But look what's happened. It's been a whole hour and I haven't seen you at all. And look at these messages. I can tell that you haven't even opened our text messages up. Who do you think I am? I'm your superior. You better get that work etiquette of yours checked. Respond to any messages from your superiors immediately. You understand? So none of this ignoring business. Fine. As your superior, I'll find you myself this time so I can beat it into you who the top dog here is. Just you wait. Don't go running off now, you understand? God, that was hysterical, wasn't it? The sound that clap made on your back? I got you good, didn't I? You definitely weren't expecting that, looking away like that. But in came me with a master plan to slap your back with that metal ruler. Jesus, I wish I got someone to video that. Well, I hope you understand what you get now for ignoring what I tell you to do. Anyways, Karen, you better stop that uppity attitude of yours in front of me, you understand? And you better stop ignoring me and come here ASAP, you hear me? You don't want another slap of a metal ruler on your spine, do you? Didn't think so. Oh, better yet, maybe I should hit your head since it seems like there's nothing up there. Maybe even give your butt a slap while I'm at it. Because clearly you're a bad girl that can't listen to anything.
Connor, let me just ask you one thing. You've been working here for 1 month, right?
Yeah, I have. 1 month more than you. I'm the superior around here, you understand? You either do what I tell you to do, or you leave. Which is it, huh? Now learn your place already.
Right back at you, bucko. You should have studied who your higher-ups were in more detail.
What are you talking about? Well, whatever. You better think about everything I told you about. Karen, explain to me. What in the world does all of this mean?
Oh, good evening, Connor. Is something the problem?
Why is a random paper pusher employee like yourself the CEO of this company? How does that even make sense? There's some mix-up, right? This is a setup that you made to get back at me for the time I slapped you. Yeah, that's the only explanation. There's no way you could be the new CEO for our branch of the company.
Well, that's the truth of it, Connor. I'm the CEO of your branch that you're so proud of working in. There's nothing more to it than that.
How can you be the CEO? You literally just joined after all. You barely even have any work experience before this. How could some nobody with barely any qualifications be a CEO of a company as big as this? This is all a prank to get a reaction out of me.
I'm sure you're lost and confused about everything. I suppose I'll go through everything just so we're on the same page. See, there was something you were missing from the very beginning. You knew that I wasn't looking for work during my college years. But there was a big reason behind that.
A reason?
Well, the plan from the very beginning was to take over my father's CEO position in his company. So instead of applying for a job that I would be at for the rest of my life, I went around hopping between jobs to learn more about the workplace. My father wanted me to interact with all kinds of people before taking over his company he poured his life into. That's why I didn't have a stable income during the years after I graduated college. And then I started working under my father in this company, learning all of the skills needed from the co-workers around me. Until a year passed and I was told to replace my father as the CEO. Now do you understand what's going on?
You never mentioned any of this in college. So how could I believe a word you say now?
It's because I've been used by the people around me in the past just from speaking too much about my personal life. Why would I even talk about something like this anyways? I'm not the type to brag. You know this.
Damn it. If I'd known this, I would have approached you sooner.
Of course you would have. That's why I didn't mention it around you.
Ugh. I can't believe I struck my boss.
Right, about that. You know my back was all red and swollen after that. Aren't you glad I didn't end up breaking a bone?
If you had just spoken up and told me that you were the CEO, none of this would have happened.
No matter if I'm a casual worker in the company or even a newbie that is on their first shift ever, there's things you should and shouldn't do. And clearly, treating someone as your complete inferior and slapping their back with a metal ruler isn't acceptable. Even a kid would know that. And yet that's exactly what you happened to do to me.
Look, it was all a misunderstanding.
Well, whatever. But what's done is done. And what was with you pushing the idea of you being my mentor? Even if I was just a newbie that just started. Don't you think it's a little weird that someone who only has a month experience would already be scouting around for people with less experience to teach? Why would you even think the higher-ups would allow someone who barely knows what they're doing to have a personal assistant? What was your end goal anyway? To use me as a servant?
Well, I mean, full-time workers are technically more important to the company than part-timers after all. And I knew you, so I thought I'd show you the ropes instead of leaving you to do everything on your own.
As the CEO of this company, I can tell you that there is clearly no rules that state any of that under the company policies. In fact, thinking part-timers are worth less than full-timers is clearly a breach in human rights. Besides, you do know that people like casual workers and part-timers can make more per hour based on the work they do.
Wait, what?
Don't tell me you didn't even know something like that.
I totally knew that. Of course.
Anyways, look. I'll keep in touch with you. We have to figure out your punishment after hitting your own CEO after all. So just sit back and think about the things you've done in the meantime. I'll let you know what will happen later this week.
Wait. I'm sorry. Karen, we need to talk. Why in the world am I getting fired? This is all a stupid joke. Why should I take the hit just from a big misunderstanding?
You're talking to the wrong person, pal. This was a decision made by the entire head office.
Yeah, but you're the CEO of this place. You make the final decisions. Besides, we're friends for God's sake. Why are you trying to screw me over like this?
You got in through having connections, right?
What are you talking about?
I heard that you were acting all high and mighty, making it seem like the company reached out to recruit you, but in actuality, you just had connections in the field.
And what's the problem with that, huh? Why does it matter how I got in?
I'm not saying there's an issue at all for getting into the company through connections. I'm more than happy to welcome anyone who provides a positive impact to our company. I really am.
Well, what's the problem then?
However, you don't know a single one of the names of your higher-ups, let alone the majority of your coworkers, even though you'd been working for a month. And yet you had the absolute audacity to approach me as if you knew how this place ran and tried to get me to be your personal servant.
I told you. I didn't know any better. I was just trying to help out an old friend.
That's not all, though. You were trying to chat up Nancy in the office whenever you could, weren't you? I heard from her it was a daily occurrence.
Why do I need your permission to enjoy romance, huh?
Well, you know that Nancy has a fiance outside of the company. She told you that, and yet you kept on going on about how it won't work out between the two of them and that it'd be better for her to get with you.
Again, why do I need to get advice about relationships from you? Answer me that.
I don't even know why you're getting so defensive all of a sudden. It was clearly getting to the point where it was harassment, and you needed to read the room that she wanted to have nothing to do with you.
Why are we even talking about Nancy, huh? She has nothing to do with you.
Because Nancy is my best friend.
What? Since when? And what? I'm not allowed to hit up your friends, is that it?
I came in to observe the workplace the other day because I was told by Nancy that one of the new recruits kept harassing her. That's where everything began. And after questioning her more and more about the situation, I found out that it was you all along that was bothering her. Which led to me finding out that you only got into this company through connections, rather than being scouted out. Regardless, this was clear harassment within the company walls. You crossed the line with Nancy. But you were a friend from college, so I wanted to give you the absolute benefit of the doubt. And I wanted to see it all with my own eyes. But look where that ended. You just assaulted me in broad daylight.
Damn it.
But to think you really didn't realize I was your own CEO from a first glance. You really should have done your research, huh? If you had been more careful, then you wouldn't have lost your job from assaulting your own boss with a metal ruler. But these were your actions. It's time to take responsibility.
Just wait a second. Nancy set me all up. She came crying to you, telling you to watch over my behavior. If you had told me earlier that you were so important, then I wouldn't have gone through with that. I mean, it was just a light joke from a friend, for God's sake.
I don't know if you understand what a setup is. Because clearly you're the only one in the wrong here. Besides, harassing Nancy aside, this could have all been avoided if you had just cared a little more about who works at your own job. Ugh. Anyways, I'm bringing the conversation back for a second, but you will be fired. This is a final decision after reviewing absolutely everything you've done all throughout your career here.
Please, you have to reconsider.
Oh, wait, I almost forgot. I know this is kind of awkward to bring up now, but I did need to go to the hospital for a checkup. So I'll be legally asking you to pay for those fees. But you'll be fine, right? I mean, you're a super elite that makes a lot of money, right?
Wait, what? Why do I have to pay for your hospital fees?
It's called being responsible for all of your actions? Anyways, you'll see a letter confirming all of that sent to your address very soon.
You're kidding me.
I suppose I can forget about the whole situation if you pay for the damages you've caused to my company up front.
Wait, so you're going to extort money out of my pocket either way?
Like I keep saying, this all could have been avoided just with a simple background check, buddy. Anyways, I do mean it when I say I'll be getting money off of you legally. So, expect to hear a word from my lawyer very soon. Please, for the sake of both of us, think back to everything you've done and really ask yourself who's in the wrong here.
Ugh. This can't be happening. A super elite like myself can't lose a job just like this.
Well, time to tell all of our other friends about the news, eh? Obviously, as expected, Connor lost his job for all of the issues he caused his fellow co-workers, including myself. He tried his absolute best to get in contact with the connections he had within the company, but he had no chance of getting back in when he assaulted the CEO of all people. From what I gathered, it seemed as though this is always how it goes, where Connor ends up feeling a little too powerful in his workplace and treating the others around him as inferiors, leading him to fall into his impending doom of being fired by taking it a step too far. As I mentioned to him earlier, I sent a lawyer over to sue him for the situation where he assaulted me in public. Unfortunately, without a full-time job to get a solid income, Connor didn't have much of a choice other than to beg to his parents to borrow the money to pay off my hospital fees. Not to mention, the only work he could ever find after that was at a factory that one of his friends worked at, where he would spend the rest of his days being worked to the bone. He slowly but surely is returning the money to his parents, but at one point he messaged me asking me to forgive him and drop the fee. But of course, I just ignored the message and went about my day. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more daily videos.
I gotta tell you, babe, this new mindset I'm trying is really life-changing. Being successful in the business world means you gotta stand up for yourself. Today, for instance, I was the only person to go home on time. No overtime for me.
Your coworkers all stay late to do overtime?
Yeah, too bad for them. They'll never become successful business leaders like I will.
But don't you get paid more if you work overtime? If you worked overtime like the rest of them, you could make more money. That's good, right?
Hey, are you forgetting that TV program we watched the other day? The one about that trading company employee who worked all the way to the top? He even said that working overtime is no way to ascend in the company. If you think about it, working hours and hours just for a little extra money, it's not a smart use of your time or energy. That documentary really inspired me. After seeing that guy's success story, I really felt I needed to set myself apart, meaning I refused to work overtime.
Is this really anything new? You've never really worked overtime before you had this change of heart, did you?
Well, basically my feeling changed from before. I guess before I didn't think deeply about it and just went about my business, following every order that my boss told me. But now I've realized that for a winner, a high performer, a successful business leader like myself, overtime is unnecessary. What do you think, Ellie? Pretty cool, right?
Well...
You should be thrilled. To think a country bumpkin like you could get married to a successful businessman like me. City life sure is nice, isn't it?
You're talking like you aren't from a rural town, too. Your hometown is even smaller than mine.
I wish you wouldn't talk about my hometown. I've moved on. I don't see that boring town as anything more than a step that I used to get where I am today. The city is the place where all the opportunities are. Don't you know that?
How can you talk about your hometown like that? It's where your parents raised you, remember?
Oh, shut up. You're gonna get me all worked up again. I may have been born in that dung hole, but I was reborn in the city.
Your roots and where you're from determine who you are today. Aren't you aware of that? You can't just discount your hometown as totally insignificant. How would your parents feel if they heard you dumping on their town like that?
Oh, God. Here you go again. Off on one of your standing up for the countryside rants. It would really do you better to warm up to the city a little more. We're gonna be here for a while.
I don't hate it here. You're missing the point.
Remember when we first met in that bar? I was amazed at how attractive you were, despite the fact you were raised in such a rural town. Then as soon as we got married, you switched back to your country girl nature. Putting your feet up on the couch, always dressing in clothes that weren't so cute. I was shocked, honestly.
I quit my job after we got married. It's only natural for someone to relax a bit after they don't have to work anymore. Besides, you're the one who suggested I quit my job to take care of everything at the house.
Yeah, any respectable wife in the city's main job is to look after the house. Without you staying at home, our house would be a mess.
Are you being serious right now? Tons of couples have double incomes these days, especially in the city.
People who do that are all just scraping to make ends meet. If they had their way, I'm sure they'd prefer to have the man as the main breadwinner. Which is why we have made it. I got you covered, babe.
What? I'm not sure about that. I think most women actually like working and pursuing a career. Like my friend Jessie, she's doing quite well actually.
Jessie, isn't she an elementary school teacher? Not exactly what I would call a high earner.
She really loves kids. Besides, it's a stable job with room for growth.
Yeah, well anyways, I'm not gonna be staying late at the office anymore. Then my boss will see the guts that I have and will have no choice but to promote me.
All right, do what you want. Allie, how's everything going? I hope my brother isn't causing you too much trouble. Oh, hey, Jenny. He's a bit delusional, but hey, what's new? What's he going on about now? Well, he's been saying that he doesn't want to work overtime anymore. Something about wanting to be his own boss or something. Sounds like something he'd say. Oh, by the way, thanks so much for helping me find the new apartment last week. I feel really good about the one we settled on. Not only is it close to my new office, but the neighborhood seems really safe. Not to mention, the rent is really reasonable given the area it's in. I'm so glad you found a good place. Life in the city might take some getting used to, but I think you should be fine. Just don't be going out partying too late every weekend. I won't! Well, maybe a little at the beginning. But honestly, Allie, I'm so grateful for you helping me find this place in the city. While I was still in Fairview, I lived with Mom and Dad while I finished up college. They were actually against the idea of me studying law. That's strange. Why were they so against it? They thought I should just hold out and marry into a rich family. They always said there's plenty of good men around there. It was honestly so annoying. Why do I want to marry some old rich dude? Pursuing my own career, making my own money, that's much more exciting. So to be here in the city finally feels amazing. I'm glad you could finally make it. You're gonna do great. I also really want to thank you for telling me what to say to convince them to let me go. They thought that I'd just spend a month or two here, run out of money, and retreat back to Fairview. But with your help, I wouldn't take no for an answer, and they reluctantly let me go. I'm glad I could help, but it was your negotiating that made them agree to it. Jonathan wasn't too happy that I got involved in your guys' family matters, but whatever. I'm really sorry about that. But it was all worth it. I'm here now, thanks in a big part to you. My parents might think I'm gonna come back broke in a month, but I won't let that happen. I'm gonna make it here in the city, and I don't plan on going back to that small town. Good for you, Jenny. By the way, how is Jonathan? You said he's a bit delusional, but not that bad, right? Well, it can be hard to talk to him at times. He's really set in his ways. You're probably well aware of that. Yeah, he can be really stubborn. I'm really sorry. Do you want me to try to talk to him? Don't worry, I married him. I know what I signed up for. Hopefully he'll come around. Can I ask you a personal question? Sure, go ahead. Why did you marry him? Good question. I guess I did think perhaps it was fate. I kind of think we met at the perfect time. On the other hand, I think I've always wanted to help him. He always seemed like he had so much potential, you know? These days, I'm not so sure, though. If he says anything too crazy, just let me know. You help me so much. The least I can do is try to sort out my own brother. Thanks, Jenny. I really appreciate that. I guess I just wish he would have a little more self-awareness. I'm still holding out hope. Our family had 6 children, actually. Jonathan was the 5th child and I was the youngest. Our 4 older brothers are still in Fairview working in agriculture. Our parents always thought Jonathan would work in agriculture too, with me marrying one of the wealthy landowners around those parts. Yeah, I think he told me that once. He always had such a longing to live in the city, and even while he worked in farming, he was always just plotting a way to get out of our small town. Then when he was 32, he finally landed a low-paying office job in the city and used it as a way to get away. That must be why he doesn't really know how things work out here. He was always just looking for a quick way to get out of that town. If only he'd taken your approach and set up a firm foundation before he moved. He's always got his mind stubbornly set on one thing. So if he starts to do anything strange, please let me know, okay? What do you mean by strange? I heard him talking to our other brother on the phone recently. I overheard him saying something like he was doing so well that the ladies can't keep their hands off of him, or something to that effect. Oh, what a thing to say. I'm sure tons of ladies are lining up to go out with a slacker like him. Ellie, I don't know how much of it is true, but apparently there's this woman he's seeing at work. They spend a lot of time together during lunch breaks and that. Are you serious? Yeah, it's what I overheard at least. I'm sorry, it's actually what I called you about. I just wasn't able to get the words out. Really? I haven't actually seen anything myself, so I can't be totally sure that it's true. Besides, he always says stuff like that just to make himself sound like a big shot. Who knows? It could be a total fabrication. Well, thanks for letting me know anyways. That reminds me, Jonathan just watched this documentary about this company employee who made it big. It really caught his attention. The guy in the movie made some comments about how cheating was a way to show status in the workplace. His face was blurred in the documentary, so I guess he felt like he could speak openly on things like that. If Jonathan finds someone he idolizes like that, he might try to be him, like take on his persona. Exactly. Well, regardless if it's true or not, I've got to do something. I think so too. I've got your back, whatever you need. Thanks.
I've been thinking lately, I don't think you're appreciative enough. I really believe that people who are unappreciative never get very far in life. You should remember that.
What?
There's this girl at my work. She's always saying thanks to me after I help her out.
What's that supposed to do with anything?
I do so much for you day to day, but I never hear you thanking me. It's a bit strange, isn't it? How are you so unaware of how this relationship works? I'm earning enough to support both of us, and because of it, you can live this easy life. You've got to start putting your appreciation in words. Every day, I'm going to be counting the amount of times you thank me for all I've done. Yeah, that should help you remember.
That's some big words from someone who pulls in less than $2,000 a month.
What are you talking about? $2,000 is big time. That guy from the documentary, he was making the same salary.
The same? He was making $2,000 a day, not a month.
$2,000 a day.
I know you're not from the city, but I had no idea you were this clueless. Your sister Jenny has a better grasp on how things go on in the real world. I'd say she has a much better shot at making it than you.
Jenny? What does she have to do with anything? This is about you not appreciating my hard work.
You know she moved here, right?
Well, she did, but I bet she's just gonna be crawling back to where she came from within a week.
Do you know how much her initial salary is at the job she landed? It's nearly double yours.
You're lying.
You know how she was studying hard in university all those years? She actually passed the bar exam. Now she's got her foot in the door of a law firm. Who knows how far she'll take it?
You're saying she's a lawyer?
She hated all the discrimination she faced growing up in that small town and vowed to protect women from abuse and mistreatment as a lawyer. Not only did she make a plan, she succeeded in entering a law firm as a junior lawyer. You could learn a lot from your sister.
Really? I never knew Jenny had it in her.
She said that her brothers didn't give her much respect around the house either, which in part gave her the fire to study hard and succeed. But rather than resent it or be angry, she appreciates the lessons she learned during those years. How mature, right?
You don't know Jenny the way that I do. She's not that smart. She's not gonna last a month in that law firm. I don't know how you were swayed by someone as stupid as her. Oh, maybe it's because you're stupid as well. If I took the bar exam, I would have passed the first try. I just chose not to go down that route, of course.
Hey, you've got to calm down with the name calling. Maybe talk to me once you've done something noteworthy.
It was just a joke, jeez. But really, Ellie, you shouldn't be talking to Jenny. She's gonna interfere with this life that we've built. We wouldn't want that, would we?
This life that we built? Every month we barely have enough to cover rent. Your salary just is not going to cut it in this city. Which is why
What?
I want a divorce.
What? On what grounds? I've been doing nothing but providing for you ever since we got married. I'm not gonna accept a woman like you trying to force me into a divorce. I'm not going to acknowledge it.
I did some research. At your company, the other employees' base monthly wage is less than yours. But by putting in lots of overtime hours, they bump it up to well over $3,000. A guy like you will never get ahead with that attitude. You don't put in hard work and expect us to pass those around you? Get a grip.
They're really making that much. I guess it wouldn't hurt to do a bit of overtime then, just for the time being.
I'm not finished. There's a 20-year-old you work with at the office, a single mother.
Yeah, so?
Apparently, on your break times, you're meeting up with her in secret. That's the word on the streets, so to speak.
Are you nuts? Where did you hear that from?
That's not all. Apparently, you're also giving her gifts in the back room. Things like bags or even money. Pretty irresponsible given your already low salary.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Whoever told you that is lying.
Jenny overheard you telling your brother about it over the phone. But just to be 100% sure, I decided to hire a private investigator.
Jenny's gonna have to really watch herself. What's she thinking, going and spreading rumors about me? What I said to my brother was just talk. Sometimes brothers like to show off to each other. That's all. It was all just an act. You didn't actually hire an investigator, right? I'm sure you're just putting on an act too. There is a woman like that who I work with, but she's totally ugly. Besides, she works on a different floor, so I never see her. I'd like to see your evidence if you have some.
I actually talked to her. Lisa, I think her name was. She actually supplied me with some hard evidence herself.
No, really.
I explained the situation to her. Apparently, she didn't even know that you were married. She apologized to me and told me she never would have done it if she had known. Anyway, I have screenshots from your message conversations. Some of the stuff that you wrote to each other, not very appropriate, I must say.
She actually just handed over conversations just like that.
She felt terrible about the whole thing, so was willing to help me.
I knew I couldn't trust that tramp. How could she have given so easily? That guy's girlfriend in the documentary kept her lips sealed like a good woman should.
I get how you wanted to come to the city, but you didn't put in any hard work. What did you really think you were going to achieve acting like this?
Who do you think you are? You're from an equally small town as me, but act like you've made it big in the city. You haven't worked a minute since you moved here.
Well, I would say I'm actually doing quite decently, actually. I've been doing web design gigs from home for a while now.
Huh?
The pay's alright, well, if you consider 10 grand a month good.
10 grand.
That's good, right? I'm just a country bumpkin, so I wouldn't know.
You've been making 10 grand a month all this time. Why wouldn't you have told me?
Yeah, it's too bad, really. I'm sure we could have built a good future together, but I guess it wasn't in the cards.
Ellie, you're not serious about getting divorced, are you? This is fixable. I'll start working overtime. I admit I was too full of myself.
I have proof of you cheating, so trust is basically out the window. Besides, I've kind of run out of patience with your stubborn attitude. Not to mention your backwards views on women's place in the world.
You're not actually going to go through with this, are you? Honestly, I can change.
By the way, the apartment that we've been living in is $3,500 a month.
$3,500 for that small place.
That's market value for that area. Reasonable, actually. When we got married, you moved into my apartment, but I just kept paying the rent on my own. There was no way we could pay the rent with only your salary.
$3,500. I can't believe it. Are all places that expensive?
Oh, there's cheaper places. You might have to go a bit outside of the city, though. Fairview might be an option.
Ellie, let's just calm down and talk it over. I'll bring that red wine you like, you know, the one with the yellow pig on the bottle. Then we can play some jazz and just talk. I'll come straight home now.
I'm afraid it's too late for that. I'm gonna need you out of the house by the end of the week. Oh, don't worry. I've already called a truck to come pick up your stuff on Friday, so just have everything ready by then. I'll be staying at Jenny's place for a few nights, but we'll be in touch to get all the divorce papers in order.
Ellie, please.
It's funny though, Jonathan. You came to the big city with these ambitious dreams, only to fall flat on your face. But one thing you did say came true.
What was that?
People who are unappreciative never get very far in life. I guess it's true. Jonathan moved out of the apartment that week and tried to look for a new place of his own. The city proved to be quite expensive, however, which was news to him. He took to staying at a youth hostel downtown while storing his belongings in a storage locker. However, after showing up to work unshaven and overtired, his boss decided it was time to let him go. Jonathan reluctantly moved back to his hometown with his dreams of making it big in the city shattered. His parents, fortunately, allowed him to move back in with them as long as he could help them with the farm work. With a tarnished reputation as someone who lost everything trying to make it in the big city, Jonathan struggled to fit in back in his hometown. Due to this, he was unable to find someone to remarry and thus spent his days in Fairview unmarried, living with his elderly parents. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe for more. See you next time!